Coming up in this video, we slowly make our way up the east coast of Tasmania, with our first farm stay in Tasmania being Samuel's Realm. Tasmania's east coast plays host to the Freycinet National Park, and whilst there we go out and have a look at the world famous Wineglass Bay. We have a look at the very pretty Honeymoon Bay. While we're in the national park, we go out to the Lighthouse and have a look at the very stunning views from the boardwalk that goes around the side of the lighthouse. Tasmania has some very stunning beaches, and we visit Friendly Beaches, which is a very clean and beautiful sand, clear water, very nice. So all that and more coming up in this video. I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. If you like the following video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We enjoyed our time down on the peninsula, and for what we did and what we had to look at down there, you can find that on the previous video. Good morning everyone, and welcome to the start of another video. We've left Parkers Beach this morning and we are currently at the back of the pub at Dunalley. So we're at the Dunalley caravan site there at the back of the pub. So here for one night at this stage, and beautiful day. And we're moving on tomorrow. We're not quite sure where we will finish up. We're probably going to start looking for some water and a dump point at this stage, just see how we go. But yes, not too sure where we're going to go tomorrow. So we'll let you know once we know. So enjoy the video. As we're making our way down towards the peninsula to have a look at Port Arthur and the areas down there, we eyed off the Dunalley pub as we went past, and we thought, yep, that'd be an ideal spot on our way back to spend at least one night. The Dunalley pub's certainly a very impressive building, very nice inside, and because we were staying out the back as we were, we went in one evening and had a meal while we were there. As the drone flies over now, you can see that channel that's running through the bottom part of the screen there now, and that is the channel that we're looking at now, and that connects two very large sea areas together, and all the water flows through that channel. Very impressive to look at, and it would be so great to take an aeroplane ride and see it from very high above. Once again, with so much of the weather that we've had since we've been in Tasmania, has been absolutely perfect, absolutely beautiful for the tourist. Now travelling from Dunalley back to Sorell is probably the first time that we've travelled the same road as what we've already been on since we come over here to Tasmania. With only 32 kilometres to travel, it was a short drive. Yeah, good morning everyone, and we're back at Sorell. We've left the Dunalley camp there by the pub. As it turned out, in the end we spent 2 nights there. I come down with a bit of the old man flu and didn't really feel like driving, didn't really feel like doing very much at all yesterday, and because we're winging it and not booking in anywhere, we've got the freedom to stay as long as what we want. So we thought it was a nice camp spot, so we stayed the extra day there. So 2 nights in the end there, and here at Sorell we're only here for one night, and we'll pick up some groceries and stock up with water and get everything else that we need, and then we'll be on our way tomorrow. So we'll catch you as we go. Sorell is a low-cost camp. It's not a free one, but as I say, it's a low-cost camp. And as you drive into the entrance to the side of the campground, you've got a dump point and a water tap that you can fill up your fresh water, and it is drinking water, and it's a very good service and facility that they offer to campers there. Quite unusual when we entered the campground here to see so many yachts pulled up in the campground, and of course they were moving obviously from A to B and camping in their yachts overnight. We were now starting to make our way towards the east coast of Tasmania, and it was along this area here that we noticed that it was probably the driest any area of Tasmania that we'd been in so far. It was an overcast sort of a day when we were making our way along the road heading towards Samuel's Realm, but in saying that, as the day progressed, the clouds did start to lift. Once we'd left the bitumen, it was only a short drive along the dirt road before we had to turn in to go up to Samuel's Realm. We did find it a bit difficult to be certain that this was the turn that we were to go into, but eventually with a quick phone call we found out where we had to head, and away we went. A little bit rocky going up here, had to be careful, nice and slow, but we eventually got there. Yeah, g'day everyone, and we are currently set up at a place called Samuel's Realm. It is a donation camp and set back off the road a bit, but not very far, so a bit of a dirt track to come in, and that wasn't to worry us. But we'll sit here over the Easter period, or the last couple of days of Easter, and we've already been here for one day, and a couple of the vans here with us, and we sat around the fire last night with them, so that was very nice. And tomorrow they're sort of forecasting quite a bit of heavy rain. So we had planned on 2 nights here, and tonight will be our second night, and not sure what's going to happen after that. If we wake up in the morning and it's not very nice weather, we'll just spend another day here. But if not, we'll move on and we'll start going up the east coast of Tasmania, and quite looking forward to that part. Reasonably dry here, a little bit different to what we've been used to with all the water and so on, but never mind. Quite nice here even though we've in that dryness, but from a distance out there as we look out that way out into the water, it's a long way, but it's a very pretty view, and so I hope you enjoy that view when we show you. The water is a long way away and very difficult to pick up on the camera lens, even harder because of the overcast conditions that we've got, but where the red circle goes around when the camera lens is zoomed in a bit, that's the water that we're looking at from our campsite. It is only a small camping area, this one, and 2 other vans here whilst we were here, and that was all that was here actually during the full time that we were there. And with the views that it has on offer, you wouldn't want to spoil it with a large group. After sharing our neighbour's campfire, we thought we might have been in for a bit of a colourful sunset, but it wasn't to be. After 2 very nice nights camped at Samuel's Realm, we started to make our way towards Swansea, and it was there that we were going to start camping alongside a bit of seawater. No sooner had we left this morning than light rain started to fall. We were on dirt road, and it was only a short dirt road, so we were quite pleased with that. But for most of the way as we travelled towards Swansea, we had this light rain. Yeah, good morning everyone, and we left Samuel's Realm yesterday morning. When we got out of bed we thought the weather didn't look too bad, so we thought we'd give it a go, and we're just north of Swansea at the moment. We got here yesterday just before lunch, and it wasn't such a bad move, but we've had 24 hours of rain. It's not too bad this morning. Nice clear sky this morning, and the sun's out of course, very beautiful, but yeah, we've just survived 24 hours of rain. So we'll slip back into Swansea this morning and fill up with water, etc. And then we'll move on from there. So we'll catch you further up the east coast of Tasmania. Very popular campground, this one here at the Swansea boat ramp, and it has 2 levels. The upper one is more grass than what the bottom one is, and we were down on the bottom one, but even though it had rained, it wasn't mud. It was a fairly firm sort of ground to be camped on. The rain started to clear by the following morning after we'd arrived, and it gave us this very colourful sunrise. It was only one overnight stop for us here at the boat ramp, so once we got organised in the morning after having our breakfast, it was time to hit the road again. Once we'd left our campsite, we went back into Swansea, filled up the caravan with water and emptied the toilet, and then we started to make our way onto the Pondering Frog, where that was going to be our next camp. With only 41 kilometres to travel and the sun shining high in the sky, it was a beautiful day to be on the road. Good morning everyone, and we've left Swansea and we're now up at the Pondering Frog. Now this one's a donation camp. I'm not sure how long we're going to be here, maybe 2 or 3 nights, not sure at this stage, but beautiful day. It's only middle of the morning, so only easy run up this morning, and we'll get set up and see what's in the area. We know what's in the area, but we'll see what we're going to get done today versus what we'll leave for tomorrow, so we'll catch you along the way. The Pondering Frog has a cafe, and it's there that you can get meals and ice creams and all sorts of things, whatever you want. It's got a playground here for the kids. We even got a gas cylinder filled up here, which was quite cheap at $30 for a 9.5 kilo gas bottle. But we were going to set ourselves up here, and that would enable us to visit the Freycinet National Park. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the national park in the correct way, and if I'm not, I do apologise. Now camping right on the doorstep to the entrance to the national park, it made it very easy for us to head off the next morning and go down and enjoy the scenery as we visit the various locations within the park. The first place that we're going to visit in the national park was Wineglass Bay. Now it was listed to be 1.5 hours to do this walk, and that was listed here on the board in the red circle and with the arrow on it, and it actually took us 1 hour 44 minutes, so we were quite pleased with the effort. Certainly gets your heart pumping though as you walk up to the lookout that allows you to view Wineglass Bay. Some spectacular views as you gradually make your way up to the lookout for Wineglass Bay, and it's not a walk that would cater for people with any sort of walking restrictions in the way of walking aids or wheelchairs, things like that. Just not possible to get up there, but very pretty on the way up. There are some safety rails on the way up, but of course that's not on every area that you can fall off the path, so a little bit of care needs to be taken. Still making our way up to the Wineglass Bay lookout, we were so pleased that once again we were able to do this walk in such a lovely day. Plenty of steps on the way up, but once you do get there, you're certainly rewarded with a magnificent view as we look across the bay now. There is a walking track that permits you to go right down to Wineglass Bay and walk on the beach, but for today we didn't elect to take that walk. As we made our way back to the car, again we took advantage of the views that were on offer. The next area that we're going to have a look at, and that was one called Honeymoon Bay, and when you walk out from the opening and come to this area here, for us it had a little bit of the wow factor. An area like this with the blue sky in the background and the blue water in the foreground, surrounded by the hills and mountains, it certainly looks so much better on a clear sunshiny day that we had, and we were so pleased once again that we were able to view this when the colours were shining in the sun. As we're moving around the area here, very popular, a lot of people, and of course it's very easy to access it with such short walks. Any of the walks that we've done so far in Tasmania, or the coastal areas that we've visited, very clean, no rubbish left on the ground at all from people that have been there, and it's a credit to everyone, Tasmania and the visitors alike. The next area that we're going to have a look at was the Lighthouse, and this one's got a circuit walk to go around. You can go up one way and come back another, so you're not going back over the same footprints, I suppose, but we're a little bit confused when we got there as to which was the appropriate way to go. Not that that did matter, but very scenic this one, and you might say that some places have got a bit of a wow factor, but this was, for us, was one level higher. There was very little wind today, and as we were walking around looking out into the ocean, it had the water so flat that it made the oceans look so inviting, I suppose. Very deep, rich blue colour, and extremely pretty to look at. The sheer height of the landscape that surrounds the water as it drops down into the water is so high. It's something that we don't see in the mainland of Australia, and for us, we could just look at it all day. The boardwalk that's been constructed that takes you around the side of the lighthouse and along the coastline here with the safety rails and the fence makes it so much of a pleasure to look out over the water and view it on the day that we had. Not very nice, no doubt, on a overcast, windy, damp sort of a day, but for us today, very lovely. The lighthouse for us ourselves didn't appear to be very strong in the inviting way of being a tourist attraction, but we went and had a bit of a look at it, and not a real lot to see, but the main part of this area obviously was the great ocean views that we had. The next area that we're going to look at was a place called Sleepy Bay. Now this one involved a reasonable sort of a walk. It wasn't overly strenuous, and in saying that too, the walk wasn't overly long, but it offered great coastal views as we made our way to our destination. There are some steps along the path that took you down a bit of a gradient, but in all, quite an easy walk. Not quite sure how the bay got its name as Sleepy Bay, but when we did get there, it gave us our first glimpse, or certainly one of our early glimpses, of the orange rock that Tasmania is well known for. After sitting back and taking in the views for a while, it was time to make our way back to the car, and then trying to find something that we could eat for lunch. After making our way back to Cogs Bay and having a look at some very pretty scenery here, we had a quick bite to eat and then jumped in the car and headed to our next destination. Our final stop on our way back to the caravan was a place called Friendly Beaches, and don't be put off by the walk that you see here as we go in. It was only a short walk where you're in amongst the shrubbery and then you're out on the sand here, making your way to have a look at such a beautiful beach. The sand on the beach here was very white, and at the same time it was very soft, and sometimes that made it very hard to walk on, but we went down to the water's edge and we just listened to the noise of the ocean as the waves rolled in. G'day everyone, and we'll end this video here. We're moving on from here tomorrow, and hopefully we're going to find a nice camp somewhere up on the east coast of Tassie, and we'll start a few free camps or low cost camps up that way. Should be very nice. So until that next video goes up, you take care and look after yourself. If you like the video that you just watched, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of our videos, click on the subscribe button, and once you've done that, change the bell notification to all. That way every time that we do uploads to our YouTube channel, you'll be notified.